Good day, everyone. Meteorologist Mark Molnar here. How's everybody getting along? It's a crazy tropical day here at Meteor Mark's Hurricane Eastern. Guess what? We have potential tropical cyclone 2. We have Invest 95L now in the Gulf of Mexico, heading into the Western Gulf. Then we have that system behind potential tropical cyclone 2 out in the Atlantic. We have an area of concern in the Pacific now. There's a lot to talk about here. And which one of these becomes Bonnie first? Is it going to be potential tropical cyclone 2, Invest 95L? We'll see here. Let's break it all down for you and go through all of these models, solutions, and what I think is going to happen here. All right, so taking a look at potential tropical cyclone 2 likely to become Bonnie. Here we go. Signified in the blue, so it hasn't quite become a full tropical storm yet. It does have tropical storm force winds. That is the denotation here. So take a look at this. Tropical storm all along the northern part of South America here. So we'll make a couple landfalls here in northern Venezuela and the northern tip of Colombia here. And then once we make it to the open waters on Friday into early Saturday, I think this thing will become a hurricane pretty easily, 85, potentially 90-mile-per-hour winds. And then it will get into the eastern Pacific most likely, and we'll see where it goes from there. All right, so there's our big storm there, the potential tropical cyclone 1. Now, there's the system behind it. It's looking a little bit more ragged. You know, it's got some storms down here to the south as well as up here. And then we got another system that just came off the coast of Africa. There is Invest 95. It is a pretty good circulation, but it's void of a lot of convection. So let's take a look. All right, so if we take a look at the areas of interest here. So we're taking a look through the weekend here, through the rest of the week and into the weekend. We have several areas to watch. Now, potential tropical cyclone 2, I expect this to most likely become Bonnie. Will track along the South American coast, become a hurricane, and strike either Nicaragua or Costa Rica here, or both countries. Behind it, we're watching a 45% chance in my eyes here of this system developing along the Lesser Antilles, Puerto Rico, and eventually Hispaniola, heading on into the weekend into early next week. So we'll be watching this system, probably going to become an Invest system pretty quickly. Watching Invest 95L here in the Western Gulf of Mexico, the National Hurricane Center has this at 40%. I'm not overly impressed with this. However, I do think there is the possibility that this could become a depression, potentially maybe a storm if this hangs around. It doesn't really have any place to go, so it will hang out over the open waters. 80% chance here in the Eastern Pacific. I expect that system to stay over open water, though, and we're watching another system coming off the African coast here. All right, let's take a look at the GFS here. Essentially what we have, this is interesting, Tuesday evening already moving, bearing down within Trinidad and Tobago. So this is proving the system's moving faster than the models, have initialized it. So, as we head throughout the night, Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, you're still going to get these bands here in the Lesser Antilles. Look at this. You got a big old slug of moisture feeding into this. And this is going to move rapidly throughout the day on Wednesday along the South American coast. Look at that. There's going to be a couple landfalls here on the northern coast of Venezuela, and eventually a landfall here on the northern tip of Colombia as we get into Thursday. Watch this. So there you have it. We're still going to be dealing with Invest 95L here in the northwestern Gulf. I'm not so confident on this system. The National Hurricane Center has put it higher. It has the potential to develop into something. It just doesn't have a lot of convection. It's got a circulation. It just doesn't have the convection there. High pressure's going to be in control. This is what's going to keep, all these systems moving on a west-northwesterly flow. But this system's kind of out of this high pressure's reach. And you'll notice, as we get in time, this system here in the Caribbean, it's going to start to get far enough away from this high-pressure system. Watch what happens here. It starts to veer. This is Friday afternoon. It starts to veer towards the west-southwest because the steering currents have become weaker. It still keeps it on a very brisk pace here, though. And those of you in Jamaica that have asked me, yeah, it's going to keep it south of Jamaica. You're not going to get little, if any, effects. Maybe some showers. Still dealing with Invest 95L up here. It has no place to go, essentially. And we'll take a look at the NAM 3 kilometer on that momentarily. I'll show you that here in about 3, 5, 6 minutes here. So bear with me here. We've also got this next tropical wave behind it. This is Saturday, July 2nd here. So look at the landfalling here. This is Saturday morning, 986 millibars along the Nicaraguan coastline here. So this is major here. So this could be a strong Category 1. Here, low pressure initializing here across the Caribbean islands. And the GFS does that little hook to the northwest like it always does with these strengthening hurricanes. It's possible it could head up into Central America, but I'll show you what the Euro does. It does something completely different. There's that system there across Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Northern and Lesser Antilles, bearing down here Sunday on Hispaniola. That's not good news. So 2 mountainous areas getting a lot of rain here, and I'll show you those rainfall amounts momentarily. I got a lot of data to show you here, so bear with me. And as we continue on with the GFS model here before we get to the Euro, you see hints of 2 areas of energy here. I'm kind of siding with the fact that the energy is going to flow into the Eastern Pacific. That means those of you along the West Mexican coast, you're going to have to watch this, and I'm going to show you exactly what the Euro is going to do with this storm once it gets into the Eastern Pacific. But there's that high pressure. You see it slowly retreating to the northeast. So it's going to have less and less of an impact on these systems. And there's the tropical wave hung up across Hispaniola. And look at that. As we head in time, look what happens with that system. The GFS says it's going to make it. And it's going to make it on the other side of Cuba towards the Florida Straits. And look at what happens next week. It takes it into the eastern Gulf of Mexico. So we have to watch it. And look what's open down here, the Intertropical Convergence Zone. So taking a look at the Euro, pretty much in the same spot as the GFS, right around Trinidad and Tobago Tuesday evening here into Tuesday night. Moving it right between the 2 islands, essentially moving it right along the coastline here. So take a look at this. There's going to be a couple landfalls just like the GFS here along the South American coastline. There's the next system behind it. There is Invest 95L. There's another system we have to watch in the Eastern Pacific, although it's probably not going to be a threat to any land in the near term, and ever, if any. Here's that dirty high there across the southeast. So you're going to see those showers and thunderstorms pop up. Kind of going to be bringing in that moisture here to Invest 95L, and I'll show you that on the NAM 3 kilometer momentarily. You notice there's something out ahead of potential tropical cyclone 1 as well. There's some sort of disturbance here already producing rain across Nicaragua and Honduras here. So let's go in time. And this is going to make landfall again along the northern tip of Colombia. So you got this system behind it. There is what could be Bonnie by this point. We'll just call it Bonnie at this point. There's Invest 95L. We'll see if that becomes any named system as well. I'm not horribly impressed by that system, but let's just get through it here. Take a look at this. The Euro bringing it into the southern Caribbean, kind of veering it towards that southwesterly flow as well, just like the GFS was doing. There's the big old circulation of that tropical wave. And look at this. The Euro, curiously, veers it even more towards the southwest. In fact, it's veering it towards the northern part of Costa Rica. That is significant here. That's showing, and look at this. This is much faster than the GFS. This is literally Friday morning. This is almost 18 to 20 hours ahead of the GFS. So that is very significant. We'll keep an eye on this. The timing could be everything on this. There's the next tropical wave moving through the Lesser Antilles, bringing a lot more heavy rain. And like I said, I'll get into those rainfall totals as well as the rainfall totals here in Texas and the Southeast. So as we continue, look at that. Landfall is Friday night. And it shows the center going into northern part of Costa Rica here, right on the border here between Costa Rica and Nicaragua. Heavy rain moving in. Look at that. And watch what the Euro does here. Euro gets this system hooked up big time across Puerto Rico and Hispaniola. Look what happens here with this system. It could still be a named storm here in the Eastern Pacific. This next wave drops a lot of rain according to the Euro on Hispaniola. And look at this system. I told you, all of these people from El Salvador all the way up the Mexican coast, and I'll show you the Eastern Pacific momentarily here, what the Euro could do with this system. Does it keep it off the coast? Is it going to stay off the coast? It does strengthen it. And I caution you, because these strengthening hurricanes sometimes in Mexico's history have a tendency to hook up, recurve. But we'll see. I'll show you here on the Eastern Pacific model because this goes off the screen. So for those of you along the western part of Mexican coastline, I wanted to show you this because if the Euro verifies, here it is. This is what's left of potential tropical cyclone 2. Probably at this point a named system if the Euro verifies here. This is Sunday, July 3rd. So let's put this into motion. So it keeps it on a west-northwest trajectory. This is Monday, July 4th. So we have it south of a lot of the major resort towns here along the Mexican coastline, keeping it off the coast so far. So we continue to move westward here. This is Monday. Here we go, Monday, July 4th. So it's moving pretty quickly. The only saving grace is the fact that it is moving so quickly. It might not have a chance to, there doesn't seem to be any steering currents to continue to move this in a more northwesterly or northerly fashion. It does strengthen it. Look at that, 964 millibars. So this will definitely be generating quite some wave action from Cabo San Lucas all the way down the Mexican coastline here. So if this system doesn't make landfall along the coast, like at this point the Euro doesn't hint at this, if this scenario plays out, you'll definitely still be feeling a lot of waves out of this system. So let's continue in time here. We'll continue through the rest of the cycle of this system. Yeah, it takes it. Wow, it continues to strengthen it. 958, 964 millibars. So yeah, and then it starts to weaken it here. So here's our other scenario here, the GFS. It kind of loses, this is July 3rd, so it kind of loses a lot of the energy here along South America. It does hint at a low here closer to the coast of Mexico. Here's El Salvador. So a lot of energy still bottled up here over Central America as well. So let's put this into motion. Yeah, we won't be able to get a good idea of what the GFS thinks is going to happen with this system until we get closer to landfall, because the GFS takes it up like this. So what happens with the energy? Does any energy transfer to the Gulf? Does it all come over here to the Eastern Pacific? One thing to note what the GFS is doing, this is definitely your monsoon type stuff developing, and it does seem to indicate here that what's left of potential tropical cyclone 2 entrains moisture here into the normal seasonal monsoon. And look at that. If you're along the West Mexican coast and the GFS verifies here, you could be looking at quite a lot of showers and thunderstorms, especially in the afternoon, early evening hours. So just keep that in mind there. Look at this intertropical convergence zone. Just like the Atlantics, it's really intensely active. And as we continue to progress this model, yeah, it remains very active. All right, so let's take a look at the high-resolution Euro with rainfall amounts. So these are in millimeters, so it gives you a good idea. Take a look at this. So this takes us through Saturday. So this is just right around landfall here into Nicaragua and the northern part of Costa Rica. So a lot more rain will fall. This is, 100 to 200 millimeters of rain. So this is a 3 to 6 inches of rain, essentially. 4 to 6 on average here. And the same along the coastline here of South America. It will keep it a pretty good clip. So some of these darker reds and yellows will get up towards a 3 to 6 inches of rain. Locally, higher amounts to 8 inches possible. Now we're going to take a look at this big old mess up here as well. All right, so taking a look at VEST 95L here on the NAM 3 kilometer future radar, essentially. So as we put this into motion, we're going to get this through, let's get it up to, there we go, midnight tonight. So essentially what we have going on here is a big old mess from southern Louisiana all the way. So this is all associated with Invest 95, all the way back through Florida here, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana. So let's put this into motion in time here. So we're going to go to hour 11, 12. So we're getting in towards 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Are you noticing a pattern here? And I've showed this the last couple of video segments here. We do have a circulation down in here. And, it has a small window of opportunity to develop into something here. And the moisture train is a bit bizarre with this system because it seems to be bringing in moisture from the Atlantic here and then across the northern Gulf. You see how you have development all the way back off the coast of Tampa here. So this is a rather large system. That's why it's having a little bit difficult of a time actually developing into something. But it does have a little bit going for it. Look at this. This is Wednesday at 8 a.m. Convection starts to fire near the center initially. Now watch as we go into the daytime heating here. This is noon hour on Wednesday. Look at this. This is a pretty good circulation developing. You don't have anything really on land as of yet, but watch as we get, later on in the day here. So as we get into hour 24, 25, 26, this is towards 4 p.m. Wednesday, 5 p.m. Wednesday. Look what starts happening around the Houston area here. You start getting these lone thunderstorm cells starting to form. You notice this line? It's essentially, and then look at this back in through Florida as well. So this is quite a mess here across the southeast. And as we continue to put this into motion, look at this. So, we lose the daytime heating, we lose a lot of the thunderstorms. So the biggest flooding scenario and flash flooding we're going to see is during the day. And that's about the only thing we have going for us here. This is 9 a.m. Thursday. Take a look at this. This starts to pop along the southeast Texas coastline here, even towards Mobile, Alabama here. Look at this. Start to get some showers and thunderstorms popping, but look, this main part of the circulation is right down off the coast of Corpus Christi here. And we start to get a generalized rain developing here around the Houston area. You can see, let's zoom in just a little bit as we go in time here. So here we go, New Orleans, hour 47. So let's continue to put this into motion. You can see the circulation down there in parts of South Texas. It seems to be trying to make landfall very slowly, and it's trying to lift to the north here. This is 8 p.m. on Thursday, this Thursday. So yeah, it's interesting to watch the system play out. We'll continue to watch it here. Do I think it has a big opportunity to become something? I don't. It's just not. I don't know. It's not impressing me that much. What's impressing me, though, is the potential for heavy rainfall, especially during the day in this blue region here. So we'll watch it here. So here we go. Rainfall amounts here across the southeast. So with this Invest 95L system, this takes us through the weekend. This is the near term what we're concerned about. Places like Houston down to Corpus Christi, definitely looking like 2.5, maybe as much as 4.5 inches of rain locally higher. So these darker red areas, you're getting up into the 3, and these areas just off the coast that are border the coast here, upwards of close to 5 inches likely. And we do have another bullseye just east of New Orleans here, so keep an eye on that as well. So I wanted to show you for the Northeast what could be heading your way for later Friday night into Saturday. So as we head through the rest of Thursday here, Thursday into Friday morning. This is Friday morning at 2 a.m. Notice something here? Yep, there it is. So here is that big old front. Now it's going to be in the 90s here across the Northeast on Friday. But this is a cold front that will be pushing into this air mass. And later Friday night into Saturday, this line of thunderstorms will make it into the Northeast. So I'll have full details on that in the upcoming weather-related video. So stay tuned for that. I'll have full coverage as we get closer to the event here. The mesoscale models don't go out this far, but I can assure you this big old line will be making it into the Northeast after 9, 10, 11 p.m. Friday night into Saturday, as well as this front moves through. But I assure you, the rest of the weekend, Sunday and Monday of your 4th of July weekend, will be a nice one. Extended outlook, Upper Susquehanna River Valley, Binghamton to Scranton, Wednesday through Sunday. Well, Wednesday's an interesting day. Well, it'll be windy. There'll be a system moving in from the north. It'll be a moisture-starved system, so less than 1/10 of an inch in any given area. There's only a 20 to 30% chance of a shower or thunder shower, but they'll be smattered about, especially in upstate New York, into the northern part of Pennsylvania here. and we'll get up towards the low 80s. Winds will be 20, 30 mile per hour gusts. Into Thursday, we'll warm it up after a cool start, getting into the mid 80s. Into Friday, hot as a firecracker, 93. And Friday night into Saturday, that front approaches from the northwest. I think we'll see about a half an inch of rain. Some showers and thunderstorms. Some of the storms could contain gusty winds, small hail, so watch out for that. And Sunday, we'll clear it out. Make a nice weekend, sunny skies, 80 degrees. Thanks for joining me, everyone, in this edition of Hurricane Eastern and Weather Eastern. Don't forget, my Hurricane 2022 Outlook is in the link in the description down below. Visit me on social media at Hurricane Northeastern, Weather Northeastern, also at MediaMark on Facebook, also Susquehanna Weather on Facebook. I know I have a lot of Facebook pages, but get out there and like them, follow them. Also, head on over to my Twitter page at Weather Eastern. MediaMark.com, WeatherNortheastern.com. Question or comment down below. I like to get the weather conversation going, and don't forget to smash that like button. Thanks for supporting me. Subscribe if you haven't already.